Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Daria if you're new here, and today's practice is a hip opening sequence. I find this style of moving a little bit slower, less flow-based, and more introspective to be really helpful at this time of the year. So I hope that it is finding you wherever you are. And for this class, you'll just need yourself a space to move and maybe a couple of yoga blocks if you have them, or something to elevate the ground just a bit. Whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and get into it. We'll start seated. Find your way to an easy, comfortable seat, whatever that means for you. You're welcome to elevate your sit bones onto a block or a pillow or something to take any pressure out of the hips and the low back. And then allow your hands to rest onto your thighs. Eyes gently fall closed. Draw your awareness down into the space of your physical body. And observe right away where you could soften. Where are you holding tension? Where is there residue from your day so far, or the last week or month, or even the last year? And just let yourself explore the space of your physical body. Notice what's here as you're arriving to your practice today. And however you're showing up, let that be okay. If you're showing up tired, okay. If you're showing up more energized, also okay. Observe the qualities of your mental state. Maybe the mind is moving really rapidly, the thoughts are going quickly. Maybe things feel slower, less clear. Or maybe there's something that you are really thinking about that's on your mind a lot, maybe to the point of fixation. And so start to watch your thoughts as though they are projected on a movie screen in the front of your brain. So you're just watching everything without attaching to it, and the pictures keep moving through, so nothing gets stuck, nothing stagnates. And then in your mental space as well, can you release any layers of judgment? Begin to breathe with more depth. Inhale through your nose to fill your lungs. Exhale through your nose to release old air. Gently and gradually fade in Ujjayi Pranayama. Listen to the soothing ocean wave sound of your breath. Join your palms in prayer at heart center and clarify here a personal intention for your practice. Something that provides more meaning to your movement. Could be a word or a phrase, something you are cultivating or calling in, maybe something you are releasing or setting free. And then really full inhale breath through your nose. And at the top of the breath, pause. Relaxing into the retention, gently tilt your chin toward your chest. And feel the fullness of your torso, the broadness across your collarbones. And if you haven't already, smooth, steady exhalation through your nose, release. Gently let your chin lower. Float your hands down onto your thighs and blink your eyes open. And then lift your gaze and we'll move forward into tabletop position onto our hands and knees. Spread out your hands and stretch all your fingers broadly far away from the center of your palms. Stretch your right leg back behind you, curl your toes under, press the ball of your foot to the earth, and rock your weight a little bit backward and then a little bit forward, stretching out the sole of your foot and the muscles of your calves. And then change. Right knee comes in, left leg extends back behind you, toes are curled under. Start to take a little rock backward and forward. Continuing to breathe with depth as your body wakes up. And then return to tabletop. With your next inhalation, belly softens toward the earth as the sit bones reach toward the sky and spread. Relax your bottom ribs down and then pull your heart forward between your arms and turn your gaze toward the sky. As you exhale, press down, hollow your core, really hug in through your front body. As you spread the space between your shoulder blades and let your chin bow towards your chest, moving into cat. Next breath in, find your cow tilt once again. Isometrically, hands and knees are tractioning toward one another, deep arch in the spine. Exhale, root down, hollow core, round your spine and spread your breath in between your vertebrae. Let's keep moving through cat-cows, any rhythm, any pace, any way you like. So feel free to add on lateral or circular movement. And can your breath last for the duration of your movement? Next time that you are in your arched spine position, stay there. Deep inhalation. As you exhale, rock your hips back just to a hover off of your heels and really activate your arms. Turn your biceps more toward the sky, the inner arms. As you inhale, round forward, coming through hands and knees in a cat pose. And as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down onto your chest. Send your right arm out, wide to the side. It could be in a T shape or a cactus position. The cactus can be a little more intense. Pressing into your left palm, roll in the direction of your extended arm. So onto the outer right hip, and your left toes can settle off of the mat behind you. It can help to elevate the head onto a block, so do that if it's feeling comfortable for you. And then allow your breath to rinse through any openings you're finding through the chest and the shoulder. In a slow, easy way, roll back onto your belly and change sides. Left arm extends, T-shape or cactus. Press into your right hand to roll to the outer left hip. Right toes drop back. If you like, you can wiggle your pelvis a little more toward the center of the mat so your tailbone and the crown of your head are in alignment. And direct your breath right to the core of sensation you feel. Roll onto your belly, return to the center, and turn your chin forward. Step all 10 of your fingertips forward and wide on your mat, and dig your toenails into the earth as you lengthen through the fronts of your thighs. With your next breath in, root your pelvis down and begin to lift your torso away from the earth. The chest peels up first. Maybe that's where you stay. Maybe the ribs and the belly begin to rise. And at the top, roll the heads of your shoulders back. Spin your biceps forward and your triceps back. Deep inhale breath here. As you exhale, lower all the way back down, but see if you can land your heart more forward than where it started, so it's like you've grown. With your next breath in, imprint your toenails to the earth, and again, peel your front body up and away from the earth, only rising to a place where you're able to find spaciousness through your heart and also your low back. As you exhale, gently release. One more like that. As you inhale, with the toenails continuing to root down, roll your inner thighs to the sky, lift from the pit of your belly towards your sternum and spread your collarbones. As you exhale, release all the way down onto your chest. And place your palms beside your ribs and press up into tabletop position. Now from here, come onto the outer edge of your right hand. So the pinky side of the hand presses down and your thumb turns toward the sky. And then make a tent with your left fingertips. The hips will stay hovering over the knees. Slide your right hand forward toward the top of the mat as far as it will go. Lower your chest toward the earth, and then slightly pivot your heart and your gaze toward the left. The head could stay lifted, or you could relax it down either onto your arm or the earth. And then gently hug your belly towards your spine, even as you breathe softly there. Big stretch along the right side, getting into your lat muscle. One more breath here. See where you can relax more on the exhalation. Press into left hand and then drag your right hand all the way back in space. Return to tabletop. Now left pinky finger onto the earth. Make a tent with your right fingertips and glide your left arm straight forward. As your chest moves toward the earth, spin your sternum and your heart a little toward the right. And then sometimes there's a tendency for the feet to grip or the legs to get tense. See if the tops of the feet and your thigh bones, even your shins, can act as pillars to the earth. So the hips can just float. And you can be a little bit more relaxed, more full of ease in the position. One more breath here. Press down, drag your left fingertips in, and rise back up into tabletop. Now walk your knees together and pivot your shins so they point toward the right long edge of your mat. So left knee and hip are stacked onto right one. Claw your right fingertips down, and then when you breathe in, cactus your left elbow toward the sky. Squeeze your right side waist shorter. Press your pelvis a little forward, and even here, can you roll your inner thighs toward the wall behind you so the pelvis is level? Then, with resistance, circle your left fingertips forward all the way to the top of your mat. Really big stretch along your whole left side. Expand your breath there to the left ribs, to the left lung. Deep inhalation. Full exhalation. One more inhale breath. As you exhale, gaze down, left hand down, pivot your shins through a center point, and then we'll turn them to the left. Right knee onto left one. Inhale, cactus your right elbow toward the sky, and really get connected to the earth through the fingers of your left hand. Hips level, maybe gazing up, and watch your right fingertips as you float them with resistance forward over your head. Crown of head and tailbone are in one line, and the right side body is expanding. Breathe there. Full inhale. Full exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, gaze down, right hand to the mat, travel back into tabletop position. Walk your hands just a baby step more forward. Curl your toes under. Inhale here. As you exhale, lift your knees and glide your hips up and back to the sky, downward facing dog. And then play around. Explore movement. You could also explore stillness with a focus on the flow of your breath. And in this first down dog, feel free to take some liberties. You got options. You could step your feet wider to make more space in the low back. Maybe you bend your knees a little or a lot. And really begin to connect to what is rooting down. So the hands are spreading. The fabric of the balls of your feet are spreading. The toes are getting broader. And then tacking finger pads and toe pads to the earth. Imagine you're growing roots through them that extend all the way down. Breathe the tip of your tailbone higher to the sky. And from the bottom corners of your shoulder blades, press your hands down and forward. Last 2 breaths here. And walk your hands to your feet. We'll come to ragdoll at the back of our mats. So the feet are about hips distance apart, and bend your knees pretty generously to enable your belly and chest to rest onto your thighs. And catch for opposite elbows and pull down a little on your arms. Breathe into the back of your rib cage and the two sides of your waist. Release that grip, and now let's bring our fingers to an interlace at the base of the skull and pull in a gentle way downward. The base of the skull, it's like it's lengthening up toward the crown of your head. Back of the neck really relaxed. Soften your jaw. And then release this grip. Bring your fingers now to interlace at the base of your spine. Let's have right thumb on top of left one and interlace your fingers from there. Micro bend your knees as you breathe in, halfway lift. Pull up through your thighs. Shift weight toward the balls of your feet. Stretch your sit bones, your fists back, heart forward. As you exhale, keep the chest expansion and dive down over your thighs. Really let the back of your neck go. And then hug your shoulders into their sockets like they're integrating more to your torso. Full breath in. Full breath out. Bend your elbows. Change the interlace of your fingers. So have your left thumb on top and then switch the other fingers. And with your next breath in, inflate through your legs, then your spine. Halfway lift. As you exhale, bow over your thighs. Fists maybe stretching toward the sky. Full inhalation. Get longer through your sit bones. Reach them higher. As you exhale, rinse the breath down your spine all the way out into the earth. Bend your elbows and release your grip. Arms can hang. Press into your toes. Slowly unwind up to standing, one vertebra at a time, rising onto the next. And let your head be the last thing to lift at the top. And then take a few rolls of your shoulders towards your ears and down. Do this a couple of times in each direction. And then do a couple circles with your head. Chin toward the chest. Go around in one direction. Once or twice. And then you can change. Eventually finding your way to a neutral spine, standing tall. Root both feet down evenly, and as you breathe in, sweep your fingertips wide and all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, pick up your left foot, step it behind your right one. Come onto the outer edge of the left foot, and then catch your left forearm in your right hand. Get tall, breathing in. As you breathe out, arc up and over toward the right. Squeeze your inner thighs toward one another, and let your pelvis rock a little toward the left. One more breath in. And out. Inhale, unwind everything. Just stand tall, left foot beside the right, arms up. As you exhale, right foot crosses behind the left. Come onto the outer edge of that foot. Catch right forearm and left hand, get tall. And then exhale, arc up and over toward the left. And even in this side bend, can your tailbone lengthen downward as your sternum gets taller? One more breath. Inhale, rise to standing tall, right foot beside the left one. Reach up, maybe look up. Exhale, glide your arms alongside of you all the way down. Curl your chin to your chest. Micro bend your knees, hug in a little through your core, and slowly round back down where you came from into ragdoll. Take your time, there's no rush. Full inhalation. Smooth, steady exhalation. Next breath in, gaze forward, halfway lift. As you exhale, bend your knees and walk your hands out into downward facing dog, hips to the sky. 3 breaths here. Inhalations rise from the earth through your spine to your pelvis. Exhalations wash from the pelvis through the spine, down the limbs, and into the earth. Can there be more ease in the back of your neck? With your next inhalation, glide your right leg high, three-legged down dog. As you exhale, left heel rises. Hug your right knee forward, gaze down, and step right foot to that same thumb. Come onto fingertips and land your back knee. When you breathe in, hug your feet toward one another and reach your fingers to the sky. When you exhale, bring your hands onto your waistline. As you inhale, coil your sit bones back just a little so the pelvis rocks back, but cinch your waist, and it's like you're trying to lift your ribs off of your pelvis. Coil your heart a little bit forward. As you exhale, we'll do the opposite. So the sit bones and the tailbone lengthen downward. Hug in and back through your belly button, and then let your chin fall toward your chest. So we're creating more of a rounded spine. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale to arch your spine. You can let your hips slide a little forward. Lift tall through the back of your heart. And then exhale, hug in, rounding, curling the sit bones toward the earth. Lift the front hip bones. One more. Breathing in, little baby arch. Breathing out as you round. This time, press your palms onto the top of your right thigh as the belly button draws in and back towards your spine and the chin bows. And then when you breathe, inhalations drawing up through the front of the left hip. We're releasing the hip flexors there. And as you exhale, keep reaching your sit bones toward the earth. One more breath. Inhale, neutralize your spine. Dig into your big toes to stabilize and reach your fingers to the sky. As you exhale, fingertips to the mat or blocks. Rock your pelvis back in space for Ardha Hanumanasana. When you breathe in, sit bones stretch toward the back of your space. Create a little bit of, I don't want to use the word tension, but there's like a 360-degree activation through the core. It's like you're hugging in toward the middle. And then as you exhale, keep the length of your spine and rinse your breath down the back of your lengthened leg. And just like we found in our down dog, can you spread the ball of your foot and spread your toes so we can access the depth of the opening through the back of your leg? One more breath. Now uncurl your left toes if they were. We're gonna sit all the way back onto that heel. So drag your right heel back in space. And then I'll crawl a little bit forward so I've got space here. Send your left hand around and back behind you. Dig into those fingertips as you breathe in. Send your pelvis toward the sky, right big toe down, and turn your left shin so it's more parallel to the back edge of your mat. It's like a modified wild thing or stargazer. So you could pick. You might like going into a more lateral expression of this position, or maybe you're feeling the back bendy situation, shoulder blades propping up the back of the heart, and you can lean into that support. Wherever you are, one more breath in. As you exhale slowly, sink your sit bones toward the earth. Your right leg is extended, and then bring the sole of your left foot to your inner right thigh. Wiggle so you feel even weight onto both of your sit bones, and sit onto a blanket if you feel the low back is rounding. As you inhale, circle your fingertips wide and up to the sky. As you exhale, tilt your sit bones back and lean your heart forward, diving into Janu Sirsasana, catching the shin, the ankle, the foot, whatever is available for you. And it doesn't matter the position of your hands. What we want to prioritize, I should say, is the elongation of the spine. So if that means you're not folding forward so far, totally okay. Allow your shoulders to fall away from your ears. Let your left thigh root toward the earth. One more breath. Root your fingertips to your mat, and with resistance, drag them back to rise up to a tall spine once again. Now, sit towards your left sit bone and swing your right leg around. We're going to move into a stag leg position. So you could be in 90-90 degree angles, or it could be more like 45-45 if it feels like a lot on the hips. So left shin is forward and right thigh bone is aligned with your pelvis. We'll start with a lateral bend here. So left fingertips wide to the side. As you inhale, right arm rises high. As you exhale, arc up and over toward the left. The left arm can bend, and your right sit bone, it might be lifting away from the earth, and that's okay, but can you intend it downward? One more breath. Inhale, root down, rise up tall. As you exhale, right fingertips land wide, left arm arcs up and over, side stretch. If your front ribs flare open, can you hug in a little more through your center and get longer through the back of your rib cage? Ooh, maybe that changes the sensation. Next breath in, rooting down, rise to a tall seat, fingertips high. As you exhale, begin to fold forward over your left shin. So it might just be a little, that's okay. Take your time. You could find a block underneath of your forearms. Maybe the forearms touch down to the mat. And continue to ask the question, where can I consciously soften? Where am I holding on, gripping, tensing, that is creating stress rather than ease? Mindfully, find your way back up to your hands if you're not there. Crawl the fingers in. Sit tall. Send weight to your left sit bone and swing your right leg around again. This time we'll move into double pigeon. So right ankle can hook across your left thigh and then the knee opens wide. It can be helpful to set up blocks underneath one knee or possibly both knees. So do that if it feels supportive for you. And then sometimes, for me, definitely, just sitting tall in this position is enough. And so start here. Fingertips can root beside you. Notice the press of your sit bones down and how grounding that feeling can be. And brighten up the central column of your spine. And let the crown of your head reach to the sky. If you're okay here, if you have a lot of that external hip rotation, and this feels like no big deal, you can begin to fold forward. If you're folding forward, stay mindful that the heart is lifting, so it's not caving in, we're not collapsing through the spine, we're keeping a lot of space between the vertebrae. And then wherever you are, allow for your jaw to soften. Let your tongue be relaxed in your mouth. It's not stuck to the roof of your mouth, it's heavy. And the depth of your breath remains consistent. If you folded forward, rise back up slowly, gradually. Lean your weight back, fingertips support behind you. Unwind your legs, just cross at your ankles. And then roll forward. You have options. You can come to tabletop and to down dog, maybe step to plank. Option for a chaturanga, elbows hugging the ribs as you lower halfway. Inhale, slide through. Up dog, cobra, opening the heart. Exhale, breath will meet back in downward facing dog. And then settle here. 3 symmetrical, steady breaths in and out through your nose. On your next inhalation, glide your left leg high, 3-legged down dog. Exhale, quiet step, left foot through to your left thumb, and gently land your back knee. When you breathe in, left sit bone reaches toward the earth. Energy rises up your spine and fingertips float high, Anjaneyasana. And then exhale, hands onto your waistline. As you inhale, tilt your sit bones back, arc your heart toward the sky, but keep that hugging in toward the midline. And then as you exhale, round, send your sit bones toward the earth, maybe slightly forward. Draw up. It's like you're trying to send your hip bones kind of in toward your belly and the navel hugs back. And then again, inhale, tilting your sit bones back, but keep your low back spacious, lift your heart. As you exhale, tailbone lengthens downward. Pit of the belly draws in and up. Scoop it towards your sternum. One more time like that. Inhale, little arch. Exhale, hug in, and this time press both hands onto your left thigh. Press it down and forward. And continue to hug in and back through your navel center, through your solar plexus. Chin bows toward the chest. Next inhalation, release into Anjaneyasana. Fingertips float to the sky. Exhale, fingertips find the mat or blocks. With resistance, pull your feet together so much so that the hips rock back and the left leg draws towards straight. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Spread the ball of your left foot. Curl your toes back. And then, without actually moving anything, try to pull your left heel further back in space as your right knee hugs a little bit forward. Spread your sit bones behind you and get longer through the back of your rib cage. Full inhalation, inflate your spine. Full exhalation, shoulders melt away from ears. One more breath in. As you exhale, uncurl your right toes, sit back. So your right sit bone lands onto your right heel. Then swim your arms around and back. Right hand lands behind you. And as you inhale, press your pelvis forward and up. You can turn your right shin parallel to the back edge of your mat. Maybe lateral bend feels nice. Maybe more back bendy feels nice. You could also play with each option. Notice the expansion across the front of your hips. One more breath in. As you exhale gently, sit bones return to the earth, and we'll set up for Janu Sirsasana. So right sole of foot connects to inner left thigh. Get really, really tall in your seat. And as you inhale, swim your arms wide and up. As you exhale, just like in a standing forward fold, your pelvis lifts off of your thigh bone, and it can revolve, so the sit bones lengthen back as you dive down, catching what's available. And get intentional again about the flex of your toes, the spreading of the ball of the foot. There's a little spin of the back right rib cage toward the left, so your torso remains aligned over your extended leg. One more breath here. Root your sit bones. Press your fingertips down, and with resistance, drag the hands back as you rise tall. Sit towards your right sit bone. Swing your left leg around, and then align for the stag position. So 90-90 degree angle or 45-45. Left sit bone reaches toward the earth. Right fingertips go wide. Inhale, get tall through the left side. As you exhale, arc up and over toward the right. Maybe the right elbow bends. Maybe the arm stays straighter, more like a pillar. Next inhale, rise up to a tall seat. As you exhale, left fingertips go wide, right arm gets tall, and arc up and over. Breathing into the right side here. Inhale, root down, inside of left foot, outside of right foot. Lift your arms tall. And now as you exhale, fold forward, diving down. Fingertips support. And then allow your breath to move through any sticking points, any areas of intensity or density in your body. Notice the way that your exhalation has an effect, even if it's really, really subtle. If you fold it forward, let's rise back up tall. Walk your fingers in. We'll sit into the right sit bone and let your left leg circle around and hook the left ankle across your right thigh. Or if that's a lot, you can press the outer edge of your foot more onto your thigh. That can be a little bit gentler. And then create a really subtle action of your inner thighs hugging toward one another. And maybe you sit tall. This is great. Maybe gradually folding forward, but be in no rush to do so. You could soften or close your eyes to bring awareness inward. And then for the next 5 breaths or so, stay really attuned to what is unfolding in your body, the way your thoughts are moving. And just watch everything from the seat of the observer. Root to your sit bones and grow your spine taller as you rise back up to a neutral seat. Lean back, fingertips support, unwind your legs, cross at your ankles, and again, option for chaturanga, or you can just step right back into downward facing dog. And we'll meet there. 3 full breaths, slow, steady inhalations. Exhaling just as long. 2 more rounds. Next breath in, look forward to your hands. As you exhale, travel your feet to the top of the mat and take them wide, hips distance or a bit wider. Angle your toes toward the top corners of your mat, and then bend your knees and sink to Malasana. And we'll start with our spine elongating, so palms into prayer, elbows press outward as inner thighs hug inward. So there's that sort of counteraction. Hip creases releasing. Heart is rising towards your thumbs as you breathe. Now let your fingertips fall onto the mat in front of you and crawl them more forward. Hug in through your belly button towards your spine. And then let your chin fall towards your chest. So we're creating a rounding through the back body. Spread your breath there all the way down to the low spine, to the hip creases. And letting everything unwind. Drag your fingertips back. Inhale as your heart rises. And exhale, come to a seated position. Sit bones touch down and walk your feet forward toward the top of your mat. As you inhale, arms forward, palms and fingers spread. As you exhale, rounding down one vertebra at a time. Eventually, back of the heart, back of the head, land to the mat. Then stretch everything out long, arms back over your head, toes reaching forward. We'll begin to create a banana shape. So wiggle your back of your heart and your arms a little over toward the right side of your mat. And then you can catch onto your left forearm and your right hands. So you could stay here. Maybe the feet also move more toward the right side of the mat as your hips move toward the left. You could cross your left ankle over the top of your right one. Then hug your front ribs down. If your arms aren't quite on the ground, bring a block or a pillow or something underneath of them so that you're more supported. And then see where you can let go. It's a really nice release for the whole side body, but also into the hip flexor region. So the front of the left hip here is what we're hoping to open. But let the sensation be subtle. It's not too intense. It's more like a gentle hum. And just watch the way your breath and body gently communicate with one another. Unwind. Left ankle comes uncrossed if it was, and wiggle yourself back to a center point. Get long, stretch out, wiggle around here for a moment, and then change sides. So your pelvis moves a little toward the right as your upper torso, upper chest moves toward the left. So you can catch the right forearm in the left hand, maybe a block under the arms for support. Feet go to the left, and you could cross your right ankle over the top of your left one if that's comfortable. And then can your pelvis be as neutral as possible? So there's no arching, there's no rounding. Find a really gentle lengthening of your tailbone toward the backs of your knees, drawing in through your low belly, and a relaxing of your front ribs toward the earth. Not a pulling down, just a softening. Then, can you relax your facial features, eyes soft or closed, and really let go. 5 long breaths here. Unwind the arms and the legs and wiggle back to alignment where your head and tailbone are stacked. Stretch out long again, and then hug both knees into your chest and have a couple circles on your low spine. Massage your sacrum. Go in each direction once or twice. Then we'll move into happy baby. So toes to the sky, and then catch onto your shins or your ankles or your feet. Knees draw down and wide, and the low back reaches in the direction of the earth. Let there be space in the back of your neck. You could bow your chin in just a little. And then play here. If you want a little sway, maybe extension of one leg or the other. As you inhale, send your breath down into your pelvis. As you exhale, let your thigh bones get heavier and maybe you pull down a little more on your feet. Then curl your knees to your chest. Lift your chin up. Wrap your forearms around your shins and compress everything in. Inhaling, hug your thighs to your belly. Exhale, send the energy of your belly towards your low back. One more breath in. Exhale, Savasana. Arms and legs wide. Back of the head resting. Set up anything you need to feel more comfortable here. Blocks under the knees for low back support. If you want a little pillow or rolled blanket under your head, that can be nice. Or just be as you are. And allow your breath to become completely natural. There's no technique, there's no control. And see if you can mirror that relinquishing of control through your entire physical body. You don't have to activate, you don't have to hold anything up. You can simply melt into the surface that supports you. And for these next couple of minutes, enjoy the space in stillness, in surrender, in letting go. And call awareness back. Deepen your breathing. Inhaling to fill the full container of your torso. Exhaling to release and clear anything you don't need to carry. Wake up your fingers on your toes. Roll your head side to side. On a breath in, get long. Arms back over the head. Legs reach forward. As you exhale, bend your knees and roll in a really easy way onto your side for fetal pose. Head rests down. Then press into your hands and return to a seated position, just the way that we began our practice. Sitting, however, is comfortable for you. Palms resting to the thighs, facing up or down. Eyes can be soft or closed. And as you settle here, observe the after effects of your practice today. Where have you created space? That could be physically, mentally, emotionally, or energetically? Is there more ease in your body or your mind? Whatever the outcome of your practice, let it be. It's not right or wrong or good or bad. Draw your palms to prayer at heart center. Return to your personal intention. And can this continue to inform the rest of your day, maybe your week, as you go forward? Full inhale breath, fill your lungs. Exhale, sigh it out. Lift your heart and bow, chin to chest. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. If you have thoughts, questions, comments, please leave them for me below. I always love to hear from you. You can also subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and you can join as a monthly donation member. All of this can happen down below. The membership is just $5 a month and really helps to support my channel so that I can continue to create free content here on YouTube. Happy holidays. I hope you're doing well and celebrating wherever you are. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you soon in the next class. Bye.